Previously.
Hi, my name is Mark. If I have to choose just one pick, it's probably the ones I've been using for years, which are these Dragonheart guitar picks ones. I've been using these picks for I don't know, probably 4 years maybe more. And at the time I was using the Dunlop all-text Jazz 3s, and even though they felt alright, because I play a lot and I pick a lot and I pick really hard, I would worn down those all-text Jazz 3s significantly over the span of a week if I had to play a lot. So I decided to look for some picks that lasted longer. And these were some of the ones that showed up, and something really weird happened when I got these on the mail. I instantly connected with it. And that's something that really doesn't happen as often as you think. But because these are made in the USA, and they don't really have any distributors in Europe because they're a smaller brand, every time I want to buy some, I can't really order too much without the price ramping up. But because we're guitar players and we like to try out new gear and try out new stuff, I thought, okay, let's get a bunch of picks, shoot them out against the Dragonheart ones, see how they compare, and see if they can dethrone them. So these are all the ones I've got. Again, the regular Dragonheart's hardened one that I usually use. Then you have the Prime Tone by Dunlop, the Flow by Dunlop. Then you have the Diamond by V-Picks, the Stiletto by V-Picks, and then by Chicken Picks we have the regular and the light ones. Okay, so a little bit over I don't know, 2 weeks maybe, I did that little unboxing / first impressions part of the video, and I've been trying to get used to those picks and see how they fare against the Dragonheart's one. And to be completely honest, this bad boy still rules. I mean, maybe 2 weeks wasn't enough to get particularly used to one of those, but to be honest, since I mentioned before, I had this trouble finding the right pick, and when I tried these ones, I just instantly connected with these ones. And that didn't really happen with any of these. Maybe none of these are the exact picks for me, at least feel-wise, but sound-wise there are some things that I'm not really a fan of as well. I mean, maybe some of them are psychosomatic or something, but I want to at least give you my thoughts about each pick, and maybe perhaps some of my thoughts will help you choose your own picks, or I don't know, maybe you want to try some of these. So let's start, I guess, by the same order with it before, starting with the Chicken Picks ones. Again, these are perfectly good picks, and they definitely feel well made, and they definitely feel sturdy, but for some reason I don't really vibe with the material. For some reason it feels a little bit too harsh for me. You know that feeling of writing with chalk on a chalkboard? Well, it's not really at that level with these picks, but for some reason I get that same sort of a feeling. I don't really know how to explain it, but even after this one and the other one, which is slightly thicker, it's not like they're bad picks in any way, and they play great, and perhaps you like them. I mean, Glenn Fricker uses them, and Henning Pauly uses them, and perhaps many other YouTubers and other players use them that I'm not really remembering right now. But for some reason I don't really vibe with them, but yeah, they sound great. They don't really do as much of that little screechy sound when you pick hard, of that. They don't really do it as much as the other picks. Maybe I should try some other models, but yeah, for now, even though they sound great, and they play great, there's something in the material that I don't really vibe with. Overall, they're great, but I don't really vibe with them. I mean, I like the thicker one better than the other one. If I would give them a score, I would give them maybe a 6.8, maybe a 7, I don't really remember how I scored them last time, but yeah, they're good, but they're just not my sort of a thing. And next to it we have the V-Picks Stiletto, which is basically their Jazz 3 copy, and this one also has, again, it's probably something like a psychosomatic or something, it's probably just in my head, but every time I play it I feel like I'm going to break it. I mean, I can really push it hard, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to break like that, but every time I play it, maybe it's because I pick really hard, it feels like I'm going to break the damn pick. I really like the pointiness about it. It's much more pointier than your regular Jazz 3, and again, it definitely feels nice. But yeah, for some reason I feel like I'm going to break it, and while I'm playing it, it kind of puts me off picking as hard as I usually do. So unfortunately, it's not going to take the top spot. And one thing I noticed about these acrylic V-Picks is that they do much more of that picking scratchy noise. And because I pick a lot and I pick really hard, the more you pick and the harder you pick, the more that sound comes out, and I don't really enjoy that part of it. And when it comes for this diamond one, I think I said it before when I unboxed it, I chose this one mostly because it kind of reminds me of the big stubby that Dunlop makes, but I was never really super into the big stubby. I think it's a good pick, but not a pick for me. But I thought, okay, maybe this one can do it. and for some reason it didn't. It does have a sharp point, but because it's such a rounded pick, and it's such like, well, as the name implies, such like a diamond shape, I don't really like the feel of it. It really feels like I have to work much harder to pick. Maybe it involves some lack of research on my part. Maybe this is a pick for maybe people who don't really pick as much as they should, and makes it easier for them or something, because for me, and I'm a guitar player that picks a lot, and a lot of times picks really hard, it definitely feels like I have to overdo it to pick with this pick. I just played a little bit there and my arm's already tired. It doesn't really happen with any of the other picks, it just happens with this one. And again, that doesn't really feel like it's something that I want to experience, so unfortunately, V picks diamond, nope. Now when it comes to these Dunlop Flow ones, I really think these are the best overall of the ones I tried to try out, I guess. Of all the other ones I decided to try out, I feel like this is the best one for me. And it's probably because it's the most similar to my regular Dragon Hearts one. I think this one is slightly thinner, which I can feel the difference, but it's not that noticeable. And I remember that in the first impressions part of the video, I think I noticed that it felt weird to do rhythm on, like the other ones, which doing rhythm felt okay, and doing soloing was okay as well. This one for soloing was good. For some reason, at the time, doing rhythm felt weird. And after experimenting with this for quite a little bit, I think I know why. I think it's because when I do soloing, my pick usually goes a little bit inwards, and when I play rhythm, the pick usually goes a little bit outwards so that I get a little bit of more area to pick with, or to drag my pick along the strings. And with this one, I felt the opposite. Maybe because it's slightly bigger than my regular Dragon Hearts one, but what I really felt like is I didn't really have to push it outwards as much to do rhythm, and I think maybe that's part of the reason why I struggled with the rhythm part of it a little bit in the beginning. After I got used to it, it didn't really bother me as much. And in a way, sort of like the V-Picks, something that kind of bothers me about using these ones, that doesn't happen as much with the Dragon Hearts ones, it's because these ones are, well, very much teardrop shaped, and they have a really pointy part, but then the rest of the pick is like really rounded off. I feel like it does much more of that scratchy noise than my regular Dragon Hearts one does. So even though after playing with it for a while, it definitely felt the better of all of the ones till now, I don't really think I'll switch for these, at least for now, unless I really need to. But saying that, if for some reason I could only play with these Dunlop Flow ones, I would definitely stick with these. And after all of them, we have the Prime Tones, which I was actually pretty surprised with. Again, I chose the first ones I saw, which were these sort of vortex shaped ones. They're slightly carved in the edges, but still. And even though this pick is slightly thinner than the other ones I tried, which sort of adds to that, I really like the material of it. And I really feel like when I'm playing, I definitely at least don't perceive as much of that sort of screechy sound. And again, not only material-wise, but also feel-wise, I think these were the ones that I thought were better for rhythm, especially chordal stuff, but also the funky stuff. I think that maybe if I had to maybe try and see if there's another one, I would see if there's like a prime tone pick, but with the shape and thickness of the flow. I think that would probably be really cool. Not really sure if they have that sort of model or not. Maybe I need to search for it and maybe do an episode 2 if they do, and or even try some other picks that maybe you guys use and you think are good ones. Because again, it's not really like I'm tired of my Dragon Hearts picks ones. And overall, they definitely feel like the winner. I mean, it's not like there's winners or losers. It's maybe just because I'm really already too used to the Dragon Hearts ones, or maybe they're just really good. In the end, it definitely comes down to personal preference, of course, but like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, because I instantly connected with these ones, and I feel like these ones are really good for me if I can find an alternative, because like, let's be honest, we're guitar players who like gear and really like to try new stuff. Unless I find a pick that's definitely better than this one, I'm not really sure if I'm going to change or not, but it was definitely an interesting experiment. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think, if this is a video that you think was interesting or not, or if it was something that you thought would be enjoyable or not to watch. It was just something, like I mentioned before, something that I thought would be interesting to make. Since I was going on this journey of trying to find new picks, I thought maybe I would bring you guys along and see if you guys have anything to say about it, or learn anything about it, or even think, oh, maybe that pick sounds interesting, let me choose that pick and see if something works or not. And if you end up trying any of these Dragonheart picks ones, or any of the other ones I made, definitely tell the manufacturer that I sent you. I've been quite loyal to Corey, I think, from Dragonheart's guitar picks, but even for all the other brands, even though some of them are not exactly for me, none of them really felt cheap or anything. I'll definitely recommend them to other players. I'm pretty sure that some of my friends would really enjoy a bunch of these. But yeah, I guess we can end the video with this. Again, it was a little bit of a different video like the ones I've been making so far, but like I mentioned before, I really thought it was interesting to bring you guys along with this journey of mine. If you have any suggestions for videos, please leave them in the comment section below. Like I mentioned before, I'm sort of doing a little bit of different content now. It's not like I'm going to stop doing lessons. In fact, I think we're going to have a lesson next week, but I'm much more focused in doing content that I think is interesting instead of just making videos for the sake of it. So yeah, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, turn on all the notifications, follow me on social media, and if you can, share this video on social media, I'd highly appreciate it. If you can, check out some of my other videos after this one. I have a bunch of them. Again, like I mentioned before, lesson ones, but also new videos like this one that I'm trying to make. And definitely stay tuned for new songs and new material, because I think you'll enjoy those as well. But yeah, let's just end it with this, because I think I've been rambling for way too much. Cheers!